Welcome to the Powerline Podcast, the official podcast of GreyStone Power. I'm your host, Emily Young, and today we're talking about how GreyStone spreads awareness about the dangers of electricity. So, let's get started on episode 52 of the Powerline Podcast. If you're out in the community, you may see a familiar GreyStone vehicle driving around. GreyStone strives to make life better in the communities we serve. That's why we visit numerous schools throughout the year. From career fairs to demos about electrical safety, we do it all. Today we're here with safety and training specialists Chris Gibson and Jared Childers, who will share all about the programs we participate in. Hi Jared and Chris, welcome to the podcast. Tell us a little about your roles as safety and training specialists.
Hey, I'm Jared. Glad to be here this morning on the podcast. We have a very unique job as a safety and training specialist because we get to have a broad spectrum across the co-op that we work with, training the young linemen coming up, but we also have other training opportunities that we have with other departments in the co-op, and we consider everybody's safety as a whole, very important to us.
Hello, this is Chris. I enjoy the safety and training department roles as keeping our guys trained up and on task. And the safety part is a never-ending battle to keep people on board and moving forward and getting better every day.
This is your guys' first time on the podcast, right? What were you most excited about while preparing for the episode?
I was just glad to be able to talk a little bit about exactly what our department does, the ins and outs, and a few things we got coming up this year that's pretty exciting in the training.
I was thinking about some of these questions and looking at what all we are involved in, and was really surprised at what it takes to keep the company safe and keep the training moving forward as a whole.
What are some of the demonstrations you conduct?
We go out and visit a lot of different organizations in the community as far as taking the live line demo trailer out. A lot of the STEM nights in the different counties we serve always ask for us to bring that and kind of put that on display. We do a lot of the bucket trucks at local schools, touch of trucks. Different counties will offer that. If it's an inside event, normally we'll come bring Safety City, or we have a board that me and Gibson actually took to the last event we did at Lithia Springs, and it allows the kids to put on lineman's rubber gloves and work with some of the tedious more jobs. So that's a big time thing that we like to do.
Yes, it's very enjoyable to reach out and work with our members and our communities, showing how electricity works and explaining the dangers and the hazards that we face every day, that they face every day out in public but don't even realize it. So we try to bring that to their attention and make them vigilant and aware of their surroundings.
I've been to several of these demos and they're very educational. If you have a chance to see a live line demo, you should definitely check it out. So I know you guys go to elementary schools to do these demos. Are they only for little kids?
No, like I said, we've been to a lot of organizations that have asked for the live line just to make awareness, really. When we go to the schools, the kids, of course, they love seeing the electricity arc over and the hot dog burning, but really the adults always come up to me afterwards and say how much they didn't really understand how the whole process worked and the dangers of it. So then I can kind of go into a little more deeper into what they need to be aware of and answer a few questions. I love answering the questions. They always have some good ones. But we do several different demonstrations, and all the counties look forward to doing more, a wider range of institutions that would like to have us.
I usually really enjoy doing the smaller kids because they're just fun. They're like sponges. They soak up information, but also enjoying the older kids and the parents and the adults. They want to get a little more in depth, and I enjoy explaining that to them because they're very interested in what their knowledge, if they can learn, they can pass that along to their children and to their family members and spread the hazards and what to look for.
I'm so glad we were able to educate our members about safety around electricity. What's your favorite part about being in safety?
I like the fact that we're able to work with other departments in the co-op. We wear several hats in safety and training, so we're not just narrowed down to just the operation side of it. I want to be a help to anybody who I can in any department. Like I said, we wear several different hats, so anytime we can help somebody out, we try to make a good effort to be there.
I enjoy the safety aspect as It's just being able to do research and read and learn stuff that I didn't know, passing that along and just make us better. And, you can never just be stagnant. You have to be moving forward with your safety program. So I enjoy the research and studying and learning and passing that along.
Now, why is it important to educate our members and employees on electrical safety?
Line work's a dangerous job, and I think not knowing a lot about the industry, people take it for granted. They're just having their electricity, and they don't know the ins and outs of it. So it's a good task for us to make it important to tell people about the dangers of it, the hazards, make them aware, all the safety equipment that's involved and that needs to be used if you're ever working around it or you ever see it, and just bringing in the proper people that know about how to go about keeping the area safe. That's one of the things we go over with a lot when we go out on these demonstrations is like, if you came up on a down power line, what would the next steps be? And we always tell them don't go near it. If it's a kid, get an adult who can call 911, call the power company. That way somebody can come out and make the scene safe. So they're always kind of blown away when they don't realize exactly what electricity can and cannot do. Because I always tell them on that live line, you can't see the electricity flowing through it and you can't hear it, so you don't know if it's alive or dead. But then when we touch that hot dog over to there and it draws that arc, then they're kind of blown away. That's just something that I'm glad that we're able to present to the public and to our employees as well.
Usually people never even think about electricity until they flip the switch and there's no lights. So I enjoy speaking with them and letting them know that there's a process of getting your power back on, but at the same time, how we have to go through safety protocols to protect ourselves and the public. So try reaching out to them and making them have a little more understanding that this is not a simple process, and assure them that we are on the job and we're doing what we can to get it on as fast as possible for you, but letting them know that we will never sacrifice our safety for turning on a meter. Just trying to get better understanding with them of how things work, because in general, people really don't even think about electricity until they don't have it.
In addition to demos, you also participate in career fairs. What's the most asked question you get at these?
We always get a lot of people coming up and asking about the different jobs we have at GreyStone. I primarily lean toward, from my background, always the line work side of it, but obviously we offer a lot more than just line work department at our co-op. There's engineer and there's several different roles, and we bring information on all of that and try to speak on all the roles that the co-op offers. Probably most asked question is, how do you educate yourself on that particular position you're doing? Or a lot of the young kids, of course, always ask about money. So we tell them just have to hang in there, and wherever you go, just see what the pay is at that organization. But it's good to go to these career fairs. It just gives people a sense of what all the jobs are out there that they wasn't really aware was offered.
I just try to explain to them about working for an EMC is a little different than working for other corporations, of how they're member owned and great benefits we have, and explaining to them we have the blue collar jobs, we have the white collar jobs. There's all kinds of opportunities here. So usually it's local school to make a very good living, and great benefits, and working close from home is huge. So it's a great career and it's a great place to work is what I usually try to push to these young adults.
On the training side of your roles, how involved are you guys with our apprentice linemen as they move from apprentice 1 to apprentice 2 and so forth? What are your roles in helping them move up in the ranks?
We're very involved in that because there's the transitions from each apprentice step. There's testing. There's a lot of book work that's involved through the Northwest Lineman College that comes in, and they'll read a lot of information and take tests, and that's part of the moving up process for them, and then getting specific training on what that job entails. It's fun. I like going out and working with the guys as often as I can. We are in the process of revamping and upgrading our training yard, so it's going to be a big year. We've got some really good tools coming in that's going to take our training to the next level up here, so that's exciting. I know a lot of the guys are looking forward to that. When you get older up in age and you've been doing this line of work for a long time, that's the stuff you like to do, is pass on knowledge to younger guys and the right way of how to do the work, because it is a dangerous job. So if we're showing them the safe and right way to do it, then that makes us feel good, like we were able to pass on some information that was helpful in their career.
I enjoy the challenge of helping these young guys move forward. We work with their CDLs. We work with all their training, like Jared was saying about their books and keeping everything up to date to keep them moving forward. Training is a daily process. That's why we have a 6-year program, because there's so much to learn. It's very enjoyable and challenging because each individual, you have to explain things different. Some get it quick, some don't. So you have to be very thorough with your explanations of why we do things. And the more they understand and know why, the better off they will be as linemen and be more help to themselves and the crew, and they'll also be safer.
Thank you so much for your time today. It was great to learn more about your roles and be able to tell our members about some of the programs we host and participate in. Okay, so we always ask everybody the same last question. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our members?
I would say GreyStone as a whole is always striving to provide the best possible service for our members, and we appreciate the positive feedback we get when working in the field or on social media, and especially during an outage. Just they need to know we're doing all we can as safely as possible and efficiently as possible to restore power to them, and it means a lot when they come up and say, well, they appreciate all the hard efforts everybody's putting in. So I'm thankful for our members.
I would like to say to the member that oftentimes you have people move in from other places and they're new to our system. And they're the ones that are usually kind of blown away of how far we go, how much we do. The people that have always been here, they usually don't understand because they don't know any different. But I assure you, we go far beyond and above what most places do to have reliable electricity and a safe system. So it's a never-ending battle to keep the power on, and it's on 99% of the time, right? That's enjoyable, and I really look to be thanked. More, we ask for some patience, and that's all we would ask for.
Unfortunately, we're all out of time for today's episode. Make sure to check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X, formerly Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, available on our website, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Thanks for joining us for episode 52. We'll catch you next time on the Powerline Podcast.